out there sound-wise, let me know. Saying hi to some people that are around me quick. So for sound, let's see what we got for sound. Pernell, you there? Yeah. Well, let's do a Gannon 1 on Sam Darnold. And Gannon 3. No, let's do Gannon 1 and let's do Gannon 4 on the Jets. Gannon 1 and Gannon. Where your team did not do well in the offseason figuring out how to restructure contracts. You didn't figure out how to go out there and maybe put some money aside. You didn't figure out how to kind of draft properly and scout properly. And when this happens overall, fans get very nervous. But the most important thing is the quarterback position. If you were trying to get a quarterback like the Raiders tried to get a quarterback, they got Geno Smith. Look, I've been on the radio since Geno Smith went to the Raiders, the team I work for. I've not been a massive Geno guy. I'm not a guy going out there saying, oh, my God, Geno is unbelievable. I've been on my entire career in Seattle. Russell Wilson before him. But is Geno Smith an upgrade for the Raiders? Yeah. Is he pretty accurate? Did he work with Pete Carroll? Absolutely. Sam Darnold today, I think going to Seattle was a big deal because I thought that Sam Darnold was going to make more money. I really did. I thought Sam Darnold was going to get in that $40 to $45 million deal. If you had me choose between Sam Darnold or Geno Smith or Justin Fields, I would say Sam Darnold if the price is right. And I think that Seattle got Sam Darnold at a perfect deal. I think the deal was great for Seattle to get Sam Darnold. And oh my God, Minnesota wanted nothing to do with Sam Darnold. Minnesota, who's on the verge of going to the Super Bowl, basically said, we're going with the rookie, J.J. McCarthy. Really? You got a guy that went 14-3 in the regular season. He's totally locked in with the wide receivers there. He's really good. And the Vikings said, no, we're not going to take a shot at the Super Bowl. And let me say this to everybody listening in Minnesota. They're very nice people. They're very good people. No chance in year one of J.J. McCarthy. He's not Jaden Daniels. And you would have had a really good chance with Sam Darnold bringing that team back. So Sam Darnold, Josh Allen getting the richest contract in the history of the NFL. Good for him. Tonight, we are looking exclusively at winners and losers of free agency. So start dialing, because this should be a pretty good show, because I talked to a lot of fans today already who are confused. They're upset. You're not feeling great about what happened today. And that's okay. I will walk you off the ledge. I will walk you off the ledge because I understand the draft is a little bit more important. I understand how important free agency is, but I also understand that the NFL draft is more important. The best teams are able to build their teams via the draft, not free agency. But Laramie Tunsil going to the Commanders to protect Jaden Daniels, even though I thought Houston got a lot in return. I mean, they got a lot in return. That was a big deal because Washington proved, after being one game short of the Super Bowl, that they needed another guy. They wanted one guy, and they were willing to give up the future to get Jaden Daniels as one extra guy to go out and get to the Super Bowl. Those are the type of teams that can do that. You know, the Commanders have Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract. You want to go a deal and do Laramie Tunsil, and you say, all right, this is a good deal. I don't love it, but it'll help us get back to the playoffs. I get that. But if you're a team like New Orleans that didn't do anything, the Dallas Cowboys didn't do much at all. A couple of teams just sat out, and they just didn't have the money to do it, and some of the best players flew by. But winners and losers as we get going here. DK Metcalf to the Steelers. I think that's a really good deal. You got George Pickens on one side and DK Metcalf on the other. Well, where's Aaron Rodgers? Who's going to be the quarterback? Why isn't Aaron Rodgers on his knees begging? And it could happen during the show in 3, 2, and 1 in a promo. Aaron Rodgers should have had a private jet land in Pittsburgh today, take an Uber to the Pittsburgh facility, and got on his knees in a praying position outside the Steelers headquarters and said, whatever it takes. I'll play for $10 million. I'll play for $20 million. I won't play for free, but pretty close. I want to be the quarterback with those two wide receivers there. Man, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, at the end of a career, it could get really, really ugly. I like what Chicago did with the offensive line. Joe Thuney's there. Jonah Jackson is there. Drew Dahlman is there. Holy cow, Ben Johnson must have took that job in Chicago and told everybody, I am not taking the job unless you let me rebuild the offensive line before free agency. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who went balls out. The Chicago Bears today basically said, we are going to rebuild our offensive line for Caleb Williams. I thought they did a pretty good job with that overall. I haven't been on the air since Myles Garrett came to his extension. He's now officially a mercenary. All he is a guy who wants money. He claimed he wanted to win. He's already going into Canton. He got a max deal to stay in Cleveland, and Cleveland really didn't do anything because they still have that albatross on their back of that Deshaun Watson contract. You want to talk about a contract that can hinder your team. I mean, Kenny Pickett is not the answer there, and Myles Garrett will go there to collect a lot of money. I thought New England and Mike Vrabel did a really good job on defense. Wow. They got some good players. Robert Spillane comes over from the Raiders. He's a good middle linebacker. And Mike Vrabel picked up 3 players on defense. Look, if the Patriots get Abdul Carter with their first pick, or they get Travis Hunter with their first pick, with Mike Vrabel, who's a pick, he's an offseason win, and then they got Drake May from last year and everybody they built on defense, the Patriots can come back and be really good really soon. I don't think Kansas City got better, which is a good thing. I think the Bengals didn't get better because Trey Hendrickson, his future is in doubt here, even though they should be able to bring him back. Some of the other players that are in trouble, Kirk Cousins, as I mentioned, no one seemed to wanted him. So there's a lot happening here tonight. So winners and losers in NFL free agency and the teams that you think did the best job. 888-623-3646 is the number. I am excited. I love free agency. And I think if your team won less than 6 games, if you were 6 games or under, you had to go out there and improve your team in free agency. And you better be able to do that. Najee Harris going to the Chargers. That's pretty important because the Chargers want to run the football, and now they have more depth at that position. Overall, I want to dive into that and what's going to happen coming up here in the next couple of days. There's not a lot. If you're going grocery shopping, as Bill Parcells said, if you want to get involved in free agency and go out there and get a player quickly. If you didn't get him by tonight when you hear my voice here live, probably not going to get a great player. There's not a lot of great players out there. They're pretty much all off the table if you're going shopping for luxury items. If you're a rich divorcee going down Beverly Hills Boulevard, and you want to go get someone on Rodeo Boulevard, it's over. You better get ready for the draft. And the draft's going to be interesting because what happens to Shedeur Sanders, right? Shedeur, the Raiders got Geno Smith. The Jets kind of need a quarterback. They got Justin Fields. You know what type of circus it'll be if Shedeur Sanders gets drafted by the Jets and Justin Fields on a one-year deal? Justin Fields got a 2-year deal, but it's really a 1-year deal. So he's on a prove-it year, and he's got Deion's son looking at him. That could be as toxic as it was with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets there, as that's playing out. And Pittsburgh's got to make a really important quarterback decision. I think that's a big topic on the show tonight. All right, a couple of NFL sound bites. Pat Kerwin, really good from NFL Radio, because we got a couple of good NFL guests tonight. Matt Verderam's going to join us from SI Now, and also Sean Salisbury, who's very good, sports talk host down in Houston and former quarterback, is going to join us on the show. But first, Pat Kerwin on Washington and how much they gave up to go get Laramie Tunsil to play tackle.
We'll end up watching the picks they got with those selections that they got. We'll see what they get for it. I like a couple of the young tackles in the draft. And Houston, they're winning the division now. Is it 2 years in a row? I wonder. To me, these things are about signability, and then the compensation package was too good to pass up.
When you're able to go out there and protect a quarterback, you do it. So again, Pat Kerwin knows every player in this league, or heard about him, or has looked at the tape there. I think overall, Washington, they gave up a lot for that, but they're all in. They really believe that they can win a championship now, and they proved that last year. Rich Gannon, friend of the show, former MVP on Sam Darnold. Rich Gannon was kind of a journeyman before he became an MVP with the Oakland Raiders. What's the similarity now as Seattle gets Sam Darnold?
I just think that's a good fit for Sam Darnold, a team that's going to continue to address the offensive line. We talked about their personnel. They got some good running backs with Walker and Charbonnet. They've got a good tight end in Noah Fant and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think they'll continue to rework and reshape that wide receiver room with.
They're going to have to go out and get more wide receivers there after you lose DK Metcalf and Lockett. You don't have wide receivers. They have to go there in the draft. And one more from Rich Gannon on Justin Fields on how this could work out with the Jets, because that could be a little bit of a bumpy ride.
His ability to run around and create and extend plays and do that. He's got to get better functioning from the pocket, and they've got to get better around him. That offensive line, they've got some running backs in Hall and Allen. They've got some good receivers, but they've got to get better up front.
All right, so that's where we start with NFL free agency again. No need to wait for me tonight, everybody. Don't wait about 40 minutes to get your phone moving. Let's go. It's NFL free agency. It's one of our bigger shows here of the offseason. I'd like to hear from you tonight at 888-623-3646. The topic is very simple. Did you get better, or are you pissed off, upset that you didn't do much at all? And there are a couple of teams that didn't do much at all. If you're one of those teams there, the only thing I'll tell you to walk you off the ledge is calm down, because NFL free agency is one thing, but normally you want to build via the draft. You do. You want to build through the draft, and you want to keep your draft-eligible players if you can. As a Yankee fan, I'm freaking out tonight. Tonight is the first time this year, the addition of Cranky Yankee. Cranky Yankee is back. If you don't know the backstory, my wife calls me Cranky Yankee. When the Yankees lose, I got to walk around the block like my dad. I freak out. I get really upset, and I feel like my Yankee season's over. Gill and Cole are gone. Garrett Cole's going to have Tommy John surgery, it looks like. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. The Yankees threw a lot of money. They threw a lot of money at their payroll, and I thought it was pretty good what they did in the offseason. But overall, I think the Yankees are in serious trouble as we open up the show tonight. Serious trouble because Garrett Cole's going down. If you're a Yankee fan, you're going to walk me off the ledge tonight. You're going to walk me off the ledge because I'm freaking out. I'm Cranky Yankee. I'm really upset. So if you think the Yankees can recover from this, please help me so I don't have to call some 1-800 hotline at the end of the show, because I'm not happy about the Yankee pitching injuries, let alone Stanton could be out for the years with his elbows. LeMahieu's always hurt. So I didn't expect to talk any baseball tonight, not even to crack the microphone with the second of baseball. But Garrett Cole being out really, really hurts. So that's where we're at. Hope everybody had a good last couple of days. I went on a golf trip to that Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine area, which I go on every year. Had a wonderful time. Brought my son with me. He got a chance to play with me and my fraternity brothers. Had a good time. I'm knocking out a double today and tomorrow. We're right back tomorrow night at the same time to recap day 2 of NFL free agency as we open up the show. Let's start off with Ryan in New York City as Geno Smith comes out to the Raiders of Las Vegas. Go ahead, Ryan.
And I'm not sure if I like it or not. I mean, I'm as a longtime Raider fan since '81. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, JT. But as long as we draft a quarterback, I'm thinking maybe Jalen Milroe in the second round or third round, take a flyer to a guy like that. But what do we do with the 6th pick? Because, Geno's, I like him, but I watched him play with the Jets when he was drafted, and I got to tell you, he's not the answer in my opinion. But he's better than what we had. But what do you think we do with the 6th pick?
Yeah. Look, if you're happy about one thing, and thanks for the call, Geno Smith's an upgrade for the Raiders. He's a good player, and I'm at fault for this because working on the Raiders flagship station, I got to clean up my opinion on this. If you look at Geno Smith's entire career, there was like 4 or 5 seasons in a row where he didn't do anything. That's hard to do. He didn't even play as a backup. He was a backup quarterback that didn't even play. So if you're going to look at Geno Smith, it's one of the rare times I say this. It's similar to Darnold. You don't look at the past. You just look at maybe the last 2 years of the past. And Geno Smith's been a really good player. It's the same thing with Sam Darnold. No one should be looking at Sam Darnold with the Carolina years or looking at Sam Darnold of the years of the Jets. No, you don't even look at that. He was a backup for Brock Purdy and the 49ers in San Francisco. When you look at that scenario at Sam Darnold, you just look at his 1 year with Minnesota and you judge him for that. So for the Raiders, I wouldn't take a quarterback at number 6. They already got Geno Smith. They're going to give him an extension. The Raiders at number 6. Can you imagine? This would gut me if at number 6, Shedeur Sanders was available and the Raiders didn't take him because they had Geno Smith. That would be tough to stomach because Shedeur Sanders, I'm a believer in. And the Jets are picking at 7, and the Jets want the Raiders not to take a quarterback at 6 so they can get Shedeur. And they're going to want him in a big way. So I think the Raiders did fine with Geno. He's going to play with Pete Carroll. He's going to play at a high level. He's going to play above average, and the Raiders are going to have to get a running back. So today was a good day for Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State who almost won the Heisman, because he should be the first running back off the board. And if the Raiders want to take a running back, which is really important under Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty could be the choice there for the silver and black. Dave's in Florida on what the Bears were able to do in free agency with the offensive line. Hello, Dave. Dave, first off, Dave, hold on, Dave. More energy, please. You cannot expect me to put you on the radio with no energy. So let's start again and get some energy going. Go ahead, Dave in Florida. How are you?
They picked up a starting center in Greedom, and they picked up 2 other.
Yeah, thanks for the call. Let me jump in here again. Either you don't have a good phone line or you're sleeping, or it's the stickiest of the ickiest. I don't know what's going on with him. I thought the Bears did exactly what they needed to do. The Bears went out and they protected their quarterback, and they have to rebuild. Caleb Williams is a rookie going into his second year in the lab, and they did a nice job going out and rebuilding the offensive line, which is something that they had to do. So Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, these are big number deals. They got an edge rusher, and they got Grady Cherry at defensive tackle, who's really good, really good. He's going to fit perfectly into the culture of the Bears. So did the Bears win? Yeah, the Bears, I would give the Bears an A and A- in free agency. No doubt about that. Let me go to San Diego. Ephraim in San Diego on the improvement of the Chargers. Ephraim, there's not a lot of Charger fans from San Diego that followed them to Los Angeles. You seem to be one of them. Go ahead.
Not root for my team. Hope everything's good out there in Vegas. In terms of the Chargers and our free agency, I am a little bit disappointed that we weren't a lot more aggressive. Wasn't that the whole point of letting go of Joey Bosa, so that you could have $90 million in cap space, and you have Drew Dalman. I feel like if we would have aggressively pursued him, then the Chargers would have a very strong offensive line to run and play the type of game that Harbaugh claims that he loves, that ground and pound football. Now we got Najee Harris.
Yeah, let me jump in. I thought the Chargers, again, they were average, but I like Najee Harris on a one-year prove-it deal. Thanks for the call, Ephraim. You get a really good running back. I watched him play a lot the last couple of years. Najee Harris is a good player, and that deal's worth up about to $9.25 million, so that's under $10 million for a starting running back, and the Chargers do have a little bit of depth there. I love Khalil Mack. They got him back for $18 million, fully guaranteed. So by doing that, I think the Chargers said they're in it for a Super Bowl run. Very similar to, the Vikings are not in it for a Super Bowl run because they got rid of Sam Darnold. I think the Chargers have a pretty good roster. They got Dante Jackson to agree on a 2-year deal, the cornerback. Elijah Molden, a 3-year deal at the cornerback position. They needed to upgrade the cornerback position. They were able to do that. But I don't think the Chargers are done just yet. I think the Chargers will get another player tomorrow. And they did a nice job drafting to build that offensive line over the last couple of years, especially last year with Joe Alt. Chargers want to run the football. And I think Pete Carroll's going to want to do that against the Chargers with the Raiders in Vegas with Geno Smith at quarterback. Great start to the show. Hey, do me a favor, everybody. If you're listening, if you want to see me do the monologue from time to time or do and rip during the day, download my YouTube page for free. JT the Brick YT. YT stands for YouTube. JT the Brick. Find me there. Subscribe for free. And check out everything I do through the day, the chat, everything. As I love the monologue here. I'm proud of what we do every night, the first 25 minutes of the show. We rip it up and get going. When we come back, we'll dive into NFL free agency. We got a couple of really good guests tonight. I love where the show's at tonight because this is my wheelhouse show. The opening of NFL free agency. I got grades for all of yous. And believe me, I'm a hard teacher, man. Some of the grades I got, I tend to grade lower than expected. We'll get into that as we open it up. Live from Vegas, JT the Brick. This is Mad Dog Sports Radio. Thank you. Can you pronounce the guest's name again, please? Yep. I'm going to talk to this chat for a second. Hello, chat. Look, that chat number's building. It's a number that's got to build. Got to build a little bit slower than the daytime. More people at night are going to start going here. I appreciate you coming in here. As you know the rule, I only take it to the bottom of the hour. So we do these, try to build this vibe of this must-listen monologue a couple of nights a week. Normally I get a couple of nights here on Mad Dog. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and maybe do another one. Grades. Bricklayers unite. Yes. Big D. Twice a day, Big D. Good to see you, brother. My son saying, let's go chat. Let's get the chat going. Yes. Chat. Love the chat. You got the backyard brick drop. You got the brick drop. See it? It works. It works. Yeah, Geno Smith. Geno Smith's interesting for me because if anybody's been listening to me for 20 minutes or 20 years, I've never been a massive Geno fan, but he comes to the Raiders, the team that I have their support. So I'm going to get behind Geno here. Geno's going to be 35 in October. He's a young 35. Someone figure out how many years Geno did not play in the league. How many seasons Geno didn't play? I don't know, 3 games or less. I think it'll shock you the amount of games. All right, we'll come right back and then I'll reset and throw to the bite. Rob Render, correct? Yeah. Big D. Geno Smith had 6 years with 5 games or less. 6 seasons with 5 games or less. Wow.
Welcome back to Mad Dog Sports Radio tonight. Call 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. And sound off with your team.
Welcome back, everybody. JT back in Vegas from Florida. Good to be back. Here's an incredible stat for Geno Smith. Geno Smith, new quarterback for the Raiders, had 6 seasons with 5 games or less. Let that sink in. 6 seasons Geno played, and he's gonna be 35 coming up. Geno had a 4-game season, 1 game, 5, 2, 2, and 1. 15 games total in 6 seasons. So when you say Geno Smith is going to be 35, he's a young 35. There were 6 years he didn't get hit. So if you can find players like that, I think the wheelhouse for a great NFL quarterback. Some are great in their 20s, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, but you get a quarterback between the age of 32 and 37 that is just starting to understand the game. You get a player like that can make all the difference in the world. Having a smart quarterback to lead your team. I think Geno upgrades the Raiders. I think Sam Darnold is a really good fit in Seattle. Andrew in New Jersey. What are the Jets doing going forward? Jets. Andrew, go ahead.
I think they're going to finish in last place. Justin Fields is just a younger version of Tyrod Taylor, and since they pretty much dismantled the entire wide receiver core, I mean, who's the ball going to if Garrett Wilson's covered? I don't know what this organization is doing. I don't like any of the moves they made.
Well, you still got Wilson. There's a couple of good players on defense, even though you lost one of your studs. And I give Justin Fields a little bit more credit than that. Come on. Justin Fields, thanks for the call, come on. What happens if Justin Fields turns out to be great? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't have his opportunity. He played for the Bears with no offensive line. They ran him into the ground. Look at Caleb Williams. That's like you telling me Caleb Williams had a chance. Justin Fields, and I appreciate you calling in because I love your passion on this topic. Don't throw away Justin Fields. He's a young player in this league. He's really young. He got off to a rocky start, just like Sam Darnold did, just like Geno Smith did, just like Baker Mayfield got off to a pretty good start, and then it slowed down. If you're a Jet fan, I think that you're going to see Justin Fields play his ass off, and you're probably going to get a quarterback. The Jets can end up getting Shedeur Sanders at number 7 if he drops that far, and if you do, then they're going to build the whole organization around Shedeur, and everybody with the Jets should get behind him. 888-623-3646. Matt Verderam's going to join us next. He's a great NFL insider. We'll get to him and the winners and losers in free agency right after Rob Render as your Mad Dog Sports Bite. All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to check out right here. Appreciate you. Thanks as always. Tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and then we'll be back here tomorrow night at this same time. Please hit the like button on the way out and keep listening to Sirius XM Mad Dog Channel 82. It's worth it. It's not a lot of money. It's a cup of coffee a month. Go get the channel, please.